Good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to be with you on the first of our first Sundays, Safari Sundays. It's kind of strange because we haven't really ended it. The schedule is just carried on and we happen to see you on the first Sunday of February. So it's so nice to be with you. Andrew and I are together and out this afternoon. We are heading north because we are on a mission to see if we can find the lady wild dogs, the females, before the males arrive tomorrow. So we are going to head all the way on to Leadwood. I think the last couple of, no, Gareth did not get to Leadwood, but Andrew was on Leadwood on Wednesday afternoon. And we're gonna go again today, hopefully. You never know out here if anything's going to interrupt you and detract your focus. But the plan is to head north. They pinged around midday on the raptors fence line, so they should get there. But first I'm going to just swing you past and talk you through tomorrow's program if it goes according to plan. In the meantime, it's really good to see all of you. Hello Becky, hello Christine, hello Elsa and Jennifer and Betty, hello Carol, hello Barbara, hello Mary, hello Aurora, who else? Hello Di. Hi everybody. Nice to be with all of you. Oh, fabulous news, Gareth. Okay, so we've been speaking a little bit, sorry I was a bit distracted because Gareth is talking to me. We've been speaking a little bit about where my bye-bye is. And Gareth has said that she was seen by Kevin yesterday afternoon on Leadwood as well. So that is really fantastic news with her cub. So my bye-bye and her cub. They have been AWOL for a while, but they're no longer AWOL, which is really fabulous, and it would be nice to see them too. So it seems like everything is happening on Leadwood. This morning the lions were seen there. The wild dogs have pinged there. There was a leopard there last night. Not to put any pressure on myself, given that the boys have had one every single drive, this week. And then, of course, now my bye-bye and her cub, the cheetah and her cub. So that's really fabulous. We are going to try and get up to Leadwood. Just have a look here in front of us. You can see the boma. Now a lot of you are familiar with this, but since you're not going to be live with us tomorrow, I wanted to just talk you through the process. So we are going to have the wild dog, the two males that are arriving from Lapalala. So they are ready to go. They will be sedated and brought here tomorrow. They'll leave in the morning, but we only anticipate them being here in the afternoon. Now what you can see, Andrew zoomed in on, is the gate, the first gate. There is a peri-orotron, like a zone there where there's a second gate, so that you can feed them and go in one gate and then close the gate behind you and then feed the next, and just to stop any risk of them breaking out. It's pretty remarkable that Lula and Kalula, the two rhinos, broke out of two big metal gates, these two gates, when they were in here. But you can see the grass has been prepared. It's the lighter grass that's been cut, and we've done that so that there's a way that we can bring them in, because the grass is really high because it's summer, and then also because it's just an easier way to monitor them. So you can't see it here, but this margin around the fence of the boma on the inside, it goes all the way around so that we can monitor and see what's going on and just keep an eye on them. Also, it'll help with when we want to see interactions between the females and the males, just to know that things are going smoothly, that there's nothing happening. So we've cleared it for visibility and to be able to assess what's going on. We don't know exactly how long they'll be in the boma, but they need to be in the boma long enough that the females hang around frequently, and so that the females and the males can become very accustomed to one another's smells. And if we get it right, they will bond with each other through the fence. And this is going to be a vital component in this whole process, because the wild dogs, when they come into contact with one another, can be very hostile, but if they become acquainted with one another through the safety of a fence, or other ways to do it are rubbing the scent of each individual on the other individual so that they wake up smelling like each other. But that can be a little bit invasive, and we want to do whatever we can to avoid sedating the females, as the females have already been in this boma for a while when they were brought here and introduced to the other male, who unfortunately was killed by the lions. This is the plan. You can cross your fingers and toes and pray and do all of the things that you want to help ensure that it's a successful and minimally invasive process. And of course, we'll keep you updated. It just won't be in the fashion that you're used to. It'll be in a episode on YouTube, and we'll keep you all very posted about that. We intend to make this our best release yet. But now that you've seen it, you've seen where our boys are coming, we're going to carry on, see if we can find the girls, or maybe Mabai, or all of those kind of things. All of those potential things. There are processes underway to try and think about how we're going to get the females to move in this direction organically on their own. All right. Have I missed anybody on the chat? If I have, let me know. Good to hear everybody celebrating the fact that Mabai has made a return with her cub. I'm celebrating too, because I didn't like that she vanished. It felt like she was gone for a very long time. Obviously she wasn't gone, she was just hiding out. Andrew thinks she was hiding out in the west, where very few people drive and where it's a lot more rocky. And I'm inclined to agree with him. Whoa! There's quite nice leopard tracks here, but look, there's none of them. So there are leopard tracks back here. It's going to be impossible to put them on camera, so they're on the other side, but they've been driven over, so I think they're not old. Maybe we'll just go the other way around. This is a road. This road makes a complete circle. It's not a very big road either, so maybe we'll just go the other way north and then see. Let's just see. Everybody's had so much leopard luck, but I feel like we should give it a bash. I mean, to think, there's been a leopard seen on this reserve every single day this week. Not necessarily by us, but we've seen 3 this week. Andrew, this week, or we've seen 4 this week. I don't want to drive over the tracks, but just have a look on your side. There are nice tracks up ahead. Let's just see if there's anything that's going on there on the left. Okay, see, this is why I think it's old, because not old at all, but not super fresh. There's tires have driven over them. They've been driven over. You should see them coming up on your left now, Andrew. Yeah, got him. Looks like a female's walked here. Awesome. So it's tricky to see, but what I'm going to do is hop out and just show you so that you're all kind of orientated. I know you know what these tracks look like. We've done it before. Which track are you on? This track? Yeah. Okay. Is it possible to get that one or not really?
Not with the sun like that. I can try.
This one?
Yeah. You can do it there.
Okay, cool. Ready? Okay, this one is not as partial. The previous one was partial. That's why I just think it's helpful. Here the lobes are 1, 2, 3, up to a flat top, and then there's 4 toes that are pointing in this direction. So that's why we've turned around. We'll drive up the road. I think that they are fresh-ish. They look good, but they don't look great. They look like somebody's driven over them. So let's go. I feel like since we're in leopard luck, we might as well put ourselves in the right positions. So easy to get distracted, isn't it? On safari, distractions are easy. Oh, Mary, I'm so glad that you saw the new baby gnu as well as all 3 piglets on the live cams. Proof of life indeed. I think it was that bull who was killed. Unfortunately, not ideal because he was an integral part of that wildebeest herd, the original wildebeest herd that we have on this reserve. And he was really alert. Something that Gareth and I were always very impressed by was his level of alertness, if you will. He was always, I forgot that we were actually looking for tracks. I'm just chatting away. He was always being a nervous wildebeest was, I thought, in his favor. He's
1 male lion crossed over the driveway of the homestead at the now.
hyena tracks. There's a lot of chatter.
Crossed over the driveway of the homestead.
What I think we need to do is get a radio update. There's lots of chatter going on, but I'm not really sure what it's about. Keeping an eye out for these leopard tracks. There really doesn't seem to be much more. Some hyena tracks, but they're trickier to track. Good afternoon, stations. Victoria Mobile. Can I have an afternoon update, please? Let's see what's out there. I need a radio update. That did look like tracks, right? Rhino tracks. Did you see? Not. No worries. Baboon. They always catch us out when we're looking for leopard tracks, baboon tracks. Yeah, exactly. The top part of the pad. Sometimes it's worth checking. Usually the dead giveaway is that a baboon doesn't often walk alone. They're often in their group. actually want to go.
Victoria, when that radio is beeping while you're talking, it's a hot timer. It means you've got to stop talking, otherwise it cuts off for 2 minutes. Now, I couldn't get a number of leopard stations on Blowbank. There's some rhino sighting, Kaya. There's lions have been seen on leopard.
On Leadwood, and we are heading in that direction. So a nice fallback plan, a very nice fallback plan can be to check out build a face to check out the lions if we need to. These baboon trucks are really giving me a hard time. Okay. Well, what's going on this chat? Good to hear that you have no customers bothering you today, Becky. Hello, Janine. Hello, Michael. Nice to see both of you. Ah, Sue, you funny. Maybe, but probably unlikely. Gareth and Andrew actually did get that leopard on camera, so they have proof, but it's very difficult to see when you're watching it.
You can't see it with the naked eye.
When you're watching it on a YouTube stream, you kind of have to, yeah, it's not easy. You've got to slow it right down and watch it frame for frame. I think it's only in one frame, so. Is that correct? Yeah, Andrew says the leopard was only in one frame, so I think you are forgiven for thinking that Gareth was tracking a baboon. Although, to be honest with you, if Gareth was tracking a baboon, I'm almost convinced he would have found it. Leopard, on the other hand, and the funniest thing here with leopards, it is always so interesting, is that you know that they haven't run away from you. They've run 3 or 4 bounds, and then they've hidden in the grass or in thick vegetation, and then they'll slink away. And so it can be the most frustrating thing because they're not going to go that far from where you're searching, but they just become impossible. They make themselves the needle in the haystack, almost literally. So it's tricky, but you know, even a sighting like that, I would take it. I would take a sighting like that. That I would not be fussy. I would be very grateful for a flash sighting of a leopard, a Rietspruit leopard. It's amazing how your context completely determines your gratitude towards something. In previous contexts, a leopard sighting that lasted a second would have been one that I would have been totally ungrateful for and thought, oh, what a waste of time. And now, I'll take it with gratitude. But like I was saying a little earlier, it's been the most unbelievable evening or week and a half on this reserve for leopards. So I'm sure if I keep trying, I'll be lucky. Rhino tracks on the road. I would be very happy. But there's other things that I can fixate on and be preoccupied with.
Yeah, right. Are you also in the area trying to look at on lions?
Like these wild dogs. I'm very excited for the story of the wild dogs. On our Zoom drive on Tuesday, I was getting carried away. Mary told me very quickly that I'm getting carried away But it's such perfect timing for the males and the females to meet each other. It's the time and the season for wild dogs to be thinking about breeding, so they're very susceptible to meeting one another, to forming packs. They would have removed these males, they would have chosen these males because they would be two wandering males who've split from their natal pack and be looking for females, and so they're identified as a really good option for our females, and that's why they're coming here. And our females they've settled in nicely, and so I really believe this is going to work. And then I hope that they get on like a house on fire and we have some pups. But first they have to bond. There are very many crucial steps between now and wild dog puppies on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. One of them is the fact that one of the crucial factors is males not chasing the females to test the fences. The females have been phenomenal with the fences.
The person that is with the lions, can you on Homestead? Yeah, I think I've seen one of that carcass this morning.
Everyone's excited to see the lions, but I think we're going to focus our attention on the wild dogs and maybe the cheetah, at least while we have good daylight. I think that is probably fair. After we've had, or after the sun starts to set, or if things don't come to fruition, or if we don't have any good leads, then maybe we'll go to the lions. Because I really want to maintain the leopard streak. Really want to maintain the leopard streak. Andrew has more faith than I do, but he's been rewarded quite a lot lately. He's having a little happy dance at the back. He's not. He's putting his thumbs up. You're looking at the AEDT tracks. AEDT tracks. There was an set of elephant tracks. See this area in front of us here, this I think would make a perfect leopard den site. So if you can see, yeah, that's great. Thank you, Andrew. Obviously there's a road that comes in through it, but on the center and right side, look up here, that's all rocks and fallen over trees and the embankment. That would be didn't get that update. The male cheetahs on spoorsters. Yeah. Anyway, that's not the plan. They're far now. But so this area would be a fantastic area for a leopard to keep cubs. There's a beautiful drainage line that we'll go through, and then I'll show you each side. Andrew will. And so these little nooks and crannies within this reserve are beautiful habitat for leopards. We just need to find them and habituate them first. But we get them, like I said, if they've been every day this week, we've made some sort of progress. Otherwise, it's total fluke. Folks, you're going to have to trust us about the leopard tracks, because in that drainage line, we did not have signal, as you could tell. So there was a set of male tracks and a set of female tracks. The male tracks looked a little fresher than the female tracks, but that's as much as we got and saw and enjoyed. Tracks. Tracks are good. I could walk that drainage line, but the problem with tracking it in that area is that if we did find it, it would be very difficult, almost impossible to get a car in there. So let's focus our energy in the northern corner.
I'll go ahead, mate. No, they were seen around the dam when they went towards the other route of it. I don't know if they were found it after the balls that don't be hung around the dam.
Pretty. Really beautiful. Look what all of you are doing. Yes, Sue, Andrew's super happy with all the things all the leopards he's been seeing. I'm happy too. The more we see, the more we will see. Oh, wow. Butterflies have been amazing this season.
Pride and other male are here at the quarry.
Hi, Andrea. Nice of you to join us. What do you think, Andrew? You think we look for the wild dogs or head to the lions? Wild dogs, yeah. You and me both, bro. They are our mascots today. Not today, they are our mascots all the time, as you can see. So, we have something for you. Although this is a Sunday safari and the first of its kind, we are going to continue and give you your last opportunity, because it's also the same week. We're going to give you your last opportunity if you have not yet out of Andrew's lioness stretching in a string of stars. Then you need to email info@paintedog.tv. This is the last time we're going to do it like this. Going forward, we are going to just provide a weekly image for our pack members. But if you want this one, you have to let us know. So email us, info@paintedog.tv. We will supply you with the lioness stretching in the string of stars. It's not too bad. At some point, our photo of the week, some point soon, will have to be the new males, so that you get a good picture of their faces so you can see them. But we don't know what kind of temperament they're going to have. We don't know if they're going to be relaxed or not relaxed. So that could take a couple of weeks for us to get them comfortable enough to take some cool pictures. Me. So, identified which leopard Andrew saw on Leadwood. Okay, Carol's saying your guess is Moya. I mean, I can offer what we do know is that another young female was seen last night in a similar area, and we're pretty sure it's the same female. So the hope there is that if it is her, that she starts settling. She's young enough to be malleable. Last night, the sighting that they had of her lasted 30 minutes and she was more relaxed. So that is promising. But as for an ID on her, Carol, if you've got that, then that's great. I mean, hold on. Yeah, so that's as much as we can offer with to identification. Okay, let me know. So, could it be the daughter of the Leopard female, Michael? I mean, it could be, absolutely, but it's really tricky to know, I think. You know if it is more what her lineage is. Perhaps Carol can help us out on that one. If you saw the leopard from yesterday, then you would be able to tell for sure. I'll see if there's anything worthwhile, Carol, and I'll send it to you after drive. But yeah, everything at this point is theoretical. It's really tricky in a system where even your good leopard sightings are 5 minutes. And it's not so tricky to identify individuals because, of course, we can take pictures. We're pretty good at that kind of thing. And AI has also got really good at it as well. What's more difficult is tracking who is related to who and how. Most of it is speculation. Of course, there's females will stay with their cubs for roughly 16, 17 to 18 months. I mean, I know a lot of females who've kept their offspring for longer than that. But I also know a few who've kept and that is obviously a great way for us to be able to tell who mom is, but in a system where we're hardly seeing any. I mean, we have a theory that Krugerkrip 2-3 and Krugerkrip 4-3 are the daughters of the Antioch female, but that is our, in theory, assessment of the situation. Just basically because of where they've set up their territories and their home ranges. Generally what happens is that because a mother bequeaths a portion of her territory to her daughters, and where we are seeing those two females as opposed to where we're catching Antioch on camera traps, it's a strong possibility that they are mother and daughters. However, we caught an older female in the Sunslert on a camera trap over December-January period, and Andrew thinks it was Antioch, but there's a lot of... Carol also thinks it was Antioch. Okay, well that... And Marine. Well, thanks guys. I'm just joking. We'll check this out. I have a red-crested coron over here. Beautiful. Okay, Carol, Gareth says that he sent you screenshots last night. Just have a look to see if you've got those. In the grass now you can see a red-crested coron. Very deceiving name because that red crest almost never is seen, never displays. But when it does display, it's a key feature of it. Beautiful. Look at how awesome that camouflage is. Talk about your markings doing the job. You can hardly see it now. I must be honest, if I hadn't said cross the road, it would look like a thick knee in there, don't you think? But we know that it's a The head does actually. I'd never really drawn that parallel, but the head looks very much like a thickney. I don't know if you can see it, folks, but it's basically in the center of your screen, maybe just off-centered to the left. Bit of movement. No, we are playing Where's Wally with a red-crested core on. I think I'm going to move on. I think it's time. And then we will move on and see if we can just get up north. The wild dogs should be starting to get active if they're not already active, so time is of the essence now. But a nice thing to know is that if they're moving maybe south, then we should bump them because we're getting onto Leadwood now. I like old-fashioned comparisons too, Michael. There's very little that makes me feel as fulfilled. Hello. Hello, Crested Franklins. Digging in the rhino midden. I'm not going to waste time getting into the area of the wild dogs. I think very little gives me the thrill and the satisfaction of being given a picture of an unknown leopard and being asked to identify it and find out who it is, where it's from. An even better feeling is when you know it like this, because you've spent time with it, or because you're familiar with it, or because you've seen lots of pictures and you've been waiting to see it. So there's a serious attachment I have to the old-fashioned way of identifying leopards based on features, and maybe the only it was of 6 months ago and they're a sub-adult, so they were like a cub 6 months ago, and now they're starting to take on more mature features, and so it gets really, really exciting. And when you get good at it, you can be 100% certain that you've correctly identified a leopard. I actually like to, just my way of doing it, but I'll often look at spots particularly around the side of the eye and above the eyebrow in the eyebrow section, and naturally the whisker, the spot pattern as well. But I love to then draw on my my devices, draw the outline shape on the eye and all the photo and draw that shape, and then but like I said, it's more satisfying when you just know. The knee jerk is like, yeah, I know who this is. But AI does a great job in areas like this. AI does a great job for identifying animals anywhere, but it's really helpful in an area like this where we actually don't see leopards that often, or we don't see them for long enough to really know them, because a leopard that's eating a kill and its mouth is like, and a leopard that's yawning, and a leopard that's sleeping, and a leopard that's walking towards you, they all look, their faces look different when they take on different shapes and things. I'm going left, right? Right. Why am I going all cuckoo? Of course. I know where we are. Of course I do. So only when you've spent a lot of time with the leopard can you identify them without any assistance in like a short minute, or you've seen lots of pictures. And we don't get that luxury here, so the AI really works, really helps us understand who's where and what are they doing. Okay, so tell me, pardon ya. Stations I'm keen to respond to the 2 rhinos at Lodge Pan. I'm 2 minutes off. We are passing the area now of Lodge Pan where there were some rhinos. They are not really the focus or the goal.
Victoria, which side are you back? I'm coming from Leopard Drive. Are you going to come in from Lobster?
Affirmative, Kevin. I'm keen on the rhinos in that area.
You're the first vehicle in total that are going to ever spot it.
Okay, copy. I'll cancel there.
I can go in, but just got to check the space. I'm not clear whether they're on the pan side of the bird hide or on the road behind the pan. Yeah, they're on other side of the road behind.
Sounds like there's a lot of vehicles with the rhino. We are going to head in and just see them. Luckily with the camera we can be a little further away. Just see who it is. No Hope and her calf plus her two older calves have been hanging out in this area, and they've actually linked up with the new female and her calf. That's very interesting. Plus the Rhino Revolution crew seem to think that No Hope is pregnant, which is what Andrew and I had said on a drive not too long ago when she was being cheeky with us. So
I'm leaving a lot of females and one male at the far end.
it would make sense.
With one sitting on the other side. Thanks for watching.
Oh, there they are. There's only one car here that I can see. Oh, they. Yay. Andrew? Hi. How are you? Yeah. So cool. Amazing. I can hear them sludging around. Can you hear them?
Stand by the apple blower. Somebody give me an update if I can come in.
Kevin, there's only 2 stations here.
Coming from the west, so is that okay?
Affirmative. Look, you can see the line on the body there where they've been wallowing. Lying in the mud this side. So, oh, oh. That's amazing. It's an ice skating rhino. That was very funny. Very, very funny. I love that. That made me extremely happy. Listen.
They should be leaving clients at the quarry. They saw flash and
A lot of rhino noises, and it looks like No Hope and her cub. Cub. I said cub. I said cub, everybody. It's a calf. Please don't quote me. Oopsie. What is that? I thought I heard a growl just to the east of us. Oh, there's another rhino coming through on the left. A big bull. A hole in his ear. Oh, he's looking exquisite. He's frolicking. Scratching his face. Sometimes they sharpen their horns on trees like this one. This is more of a face scratch. Yeah, so he's scratching all his whole head there. It makes a lot of sense. He's covered it in mud and now he's using the trees to scrape off any parasites that could be around his face. It's very typical behavior after they've mud wallowed. I'd rub his body up against it now. Look, oh, that's good. Get in between the legs, dislodge any ticks. I was on a bushwalk this morning and we had a look at a rhino tick, and they can be nasty little things, so it makes sense that he'd need to exfoliate his skin. Hello, how entertaining are they? So there you go. Yeah. See if he's going to scratch underneath his back leg. No, it's carrying on. Oh, never mind. Hi. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, thanks. No, just one day. Oh, Andrew. I is drinking. And corn's all right?
Yeah, I think so. Via? Yeah. He doesn't know where his territory is. Yeah, he's running.
He's a little bit far north of where we expect to see him. That's okay. Clearly,
He will go wherever he can upset some female.
he had a reason to come north. Yeah. Because he's a little further north than we expect him to be.
The rubbing pole is underwater.
So Hannah was just saying he'll go wherever he can upset the females, and that's what they were. They were upset a bit earlier, squealing and huffing and puffing at something, and now we know what the something was. A bull rhino.
The little one squeaking.
I don't know if we can get that on the ambient mic. Not okay. They're a little bit far for us to get the vocalizations on the ambient mic. But the baby, the young calf, is making little squeals. Okay, no, right. Yeah, it's tricky. They're really enjoying this muddy water. It's an incredibly warm evening, and so a little bit of respite from the heat is very welcome. And it's a good time of day to expect to see rhinos near a water source. Typically, dusk is a really good time to catch them drinking. These ones are doing more than drinking. Drinking, wallowing, exfoliating their skin. I'm having a great scratch. Oh, cable. So all those folds in his skin are exactly where the ticks are going to gather. And so getting onto a stump like that stump and rubbing up and down, he's pulling out all of the ticks that are in the crevices of his skin.
I'm responding as far as for the lions, 7 minutes out.
Magical. There's so much going on. And Lodge Pan is beautiful and full as well.
I'm responding 7 minutes out. That's outside lock. Behind you.
Scratch the chin.
Thank you very much.
watching the adult navigate the mud is
He's brave enough to scent mark here.
very interesting because he's not slipping inside, but he's on the same
He's 20
mud
tolerating
as the rest of them.
scent marks.
He does look like he might.
His scent marks the fact is 20 through.
Yeah.
But Hannah, didn't you say you scent marked on the bottom?
If
Everywhere.
he starts scent marking
Everywhere.
here, then
You scent marking.
he's starting to challenge other bulls in the area.
Why do you have to get behind the bush?
I wonder if we should reposition. He might come out here.
I'm going to go around the other side and see how far Paul's got with putting a screw in on this thing. They never put one in.
I agree with you, Michael. It would make sense if it were the daughter of the leopard female. A lot of sense. We're talking about that leopard now. Sorry, not the rhinos. For those of you who are not on the TAC chat. But Carol, have you managed to find anything out on that photo? Does it look like it could be? What did you call her earlier? Moya? Or a different female? I don't want to pull forward a little bit just to see if we can get sort of nail. The other ones are my following as well. There he is. Is that a good gap or a bit back?
It's not a great gap wherever we are for him there.
No, it is a bit of a tricky view, but they're being very entertaining. He's still scratching that horn, sharpening it. You've also got to remember that a horn is growing tissue, and ticks do like to attach themselves to the base of that horn as well. So this is an incredibly important task that he has now, scratching and sharpening his horn. It would matter more for the maintenance of it if he had a long horn, but being a dehorned bull, it still helps. So interestingly, male rhinos, when they left and their horns are not trimmed, they actually get a bit of a point back, which is very different to the females who don't get that point back. Often he is scent marking here. This is the territory of bull number 20. Oh, it is him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense to me. So this is the number 20. Southern Council. Which I'm glad about because I was confused by that whole zone. It's beautiful. Okay, great, Carol. Good to hear. Thanks for being on that for us. Here he comes. What's amazing about this reserve is that we get to see all these rhinos and they're so easy to identify. So we actually can start to see all their different temperaments. He's quite relaxed. Can still hear the others splashing around on the other side of this pan, but we can't see them, so it's impossible. And this bull's also on his way. I think we should be on our way too, Andrew. Let's see everybody if we can just get into the area. Those dogs, wild dogs, ahead of tomorrow. Oh, he's coming past us. Nice. And he's gone. Let's go. That was epic. Cheers. That was amazing. I feel very thrilled. Okay, we have taken the two track that we need to get into the last area where the wild dogs were. As you can see, the grass is higher than the vehicle, so we are navigating through very long grass, and it's flicking its seeds at us. Maybe if I open my mouth, I'll get some seedy proteins. This is not exactly where their collar pinged, but they pinged on the fence. So I'm hoping that they're moving west, because they couldn't go any further east. They could have come south, but the hope is that they're somewhere around here, and then we should be able to pick up on signs of them. This morning on our bushwalk, we were actually walking in the Greater Kruger. Not on Rietspruit, and we were very lucky because we heard wild dogs calling, and they were calling close to us. So, I mean, that's always a treat to know that you're surrounded by wild dogs while you're on foot. Wild dogs are actually not an issue on foot. They're not even classified as dangerous game. They are, of course, a species that we need to be cautious of, because they are protected. Do you think there's something in the road there? No.
Yeah, the new sport.
I want to just check with binoculars behind us before I continue anywhere. Give me a second, everybody. It's two bushes that have been thrown on the road there, and that's what I was seeing, but really in the distance. So we're going to continue in this direction. But so what I was saying is that wild dogs are not they're not technically considered a dangerous game species. The dangerous game species that we would be concerned about would be the big five, and then a hippo out of the water is another one, but that's more or less it. I mean, hippo sightings, I'm trying to think, is there one that I've forgotten? I think there's technically seven dangerous game species that are classified as dangerous game. Or maybe because it's black rhino, white rhino, and then the other four. A gnu poo. It's the feces of a gnu. I really want these wild dogs to just surprise us. They've got to be here. I think I'm really invested because I know that their lives are about to change and I'm excited for them. And also we have been given instructions to keep eyes on the females before the boys arrive. So if we get a good position on them tonight, it will really help with tomorrow morning finding them and just staying with them. Yay! Every little thing I see on the road I think might be them, but I don't think that's them up ahead. I think it's more just discoloration on the road. It's a branch it's on a tree, but it looks like it's extending out, so not wild dogs, just a branch. I don't think I've actually ever driven this fence line. I know that the girls are often, the girls, as in the wild dog girls, not the lion girls, they are often in this area, and I've driven all the roads around it, but I've never really needed to drive on the fence, so please bear with the fence. Let me check what all of you are saying. Would a crocodile on foot be dangerous? They're not considered dangerous game out of the water, but you certainly wouldn't want to mess with them. I wouldn't want to get in their way at all. They also are not as they're not in their preferred habitat when they're on land, and so they are definitely compromised. When they're in the water, they've got the cover and the stealth of the water, but on land they are quite clumsy. And they can move relatively fast, but it's nothing compared to what their abilities are within the water, so that they're not considered dangerous game on foot. That said, I would not want to stumble across a crocodile walking around a bush or something. I can imagine that I would be pretty freaked out. Imagine. Mary, you're right, zigzagging seems to be something that you get told quite a lot. Also with rhinos, they don't zigzag very well, so they say you should zigzag, but to be honest with you, if I'm at the point in my life where I have to zigzag to get away from a dangerous animal, I'm already terrified. I'm already not, the odds are not in my favor if I'm having to run in a zigzag. I've always wondered, like, how much is your zigzag? Is it a long way one way and then a long way the other way, or is it very short, like 2 steps, 2 steps, 2 steps? That would make sense, because then you would just be going slowly in the same direction. It would have to be long zigzags. The other thing I've been told, but I don't want to put it to the test, is that if a black rhino is charging you, you should let it charge you, and then and you have no trees or no high ground or nothing is going to help you, then you should wait and you should let them charge you, and then at the very last minute you should dive as far as you can in one direction, and they usually will run right past you and not be able to find you. But I don't really want to be in that position to have to test these things. You would just accept, Mary, that this is how you die? I mean, it's a good story. Probably won't be that fun, but it'll be a good story for everyone else. Good way to go. It's an exciting way to go, Andrew. Andrew thinks it's terrible. At least it's not boring. You'll be the talk of the town. It's not a good thing to be the talk of the town for. Where's this go? Back in. Oh, are those tracks? No. I keep thinking that I've seen tracks for these wild dogs. And then it turns out to be, well, not. Mostly scrub hair tracks in this part that I've been seeing. And antelope tracks. I think that little skidding rhino might be the highlight of my week. Because it is Sunday. I can be reflective. Reflect on my week. Come on, dogs. Come on, girls. With the males and form a pack, because I feel like I'm so invested in their journey. I mean, everything from, well, we weren't here for their release. It happened early September, but then everything after that, you know, losing Notch and then finding his collar and his skull and having all those highs and lows with these wild dogs, it's going to be really special and heartwarming. Did any of you see that puff of grass seed? I doubt it. No. Okay, looks like we're driving through smoke. When there's somebody who's smoking and they puff their cigarette and you just see that like cloud of smoke, it's exactly what it looks like driving through these roads at the moment. I don't know if you can see it, you can't really get it on camera, but the puffs of seeds from each tuft are very entertaining, but also eye compromising. So this is true, Mary. It's very, very true what you say, that crocodile's power is in the force of closing, not opening. So if you can secure their mouth shut, then they really can't open it. I mean, just a bit of duct tape is enough to keep their mouth closed. But to put that bit of duct tape or to hold their mouth closed, you need to wrangle them. and their lashing and whipping and muscular strength, quite frankly, is phenomenal. And so if you're wrestling a crocodile, your hands are going to get free, and you're always going to be free, and you're going to find yourself in a very tricky situation. So I'm not quite Steve Irwin in that regard. I certainly don't want to be jumping on the backs of death rolling crocodiles, at least not alone. I could do it if I needed to, if there were a few more of us. But just me? If it was me and Andrew, I'd do it, because I back Andrew with reptiles. When Andrew's thumb is fixed, I would back Andrew with reptiles. Yes, Mary, I'm inclined to agree with you. The dog workout, the dog emotions, the turmoil, the highs and the lows of these two wild dogs has been astronomical. I hope that this is the end of the roller coaster and that we just have a few more incredible highs. Should have some highs, especially having two males now, and one of those males will also get a collar, so we'll be able to figure out the movement of them. That'll be put on tomorrow as well. It's going to be a big day for them. What's quite fascinating is that they have no idea that it's going to be a big day. Lapalala is in the Waterberg. Now you're making me question myself, but I'm pretty sure. Thank you. They do have a very robust population of wild dogs in that area of that region of South Africa. Strong genetics, some of the strongest genetics within wild dogs, so it's good to know that we're getting some really good males. Now I'm inclined to agree with you, Betty. I also don't want to find out. I don't want to find out how to test the jaw of a crocodile. Should we get onto Concert Road or stay on this one? You think so? Okay, I'm going with your gut, Andrew. I won't blame you. I won't blame you. I'm just going with your gut. Leopard is such an exquisite property. Driving around here with all they've got some beautiful trees on Leopard, all throughout Leopard, and then really nice grassy sections as well. This is a little thicker, but nowhere near as thick as Blowbank is. So you can see it's in a successionary state. It's further along in the process than areas of Blowbank are, where there's a lot of string of stars, and they've kind of colonized an area and are trying to rehabilitate the soils. Further along in the scale, you can see some beautiful big trees, which are an indication of a climax community. Of course, there are big trees on Blowbank as well, but a lot of that ground is healing. Healing from overuse and healing from underuse, depending on which section you're in. But it's really cool that land can be restored to a wild space and we can enjoy it. I mean, not even 15, 20 years after some of them have been acquired, and we're starting to see major changes and just great wild environments. And our elephant population is relatively small, so they haven't cleared out and created those big spaces. They haven't done that much landscaping. They've done quite a bit for the amount of time that they've had and for how few they are, but they haven't done an enormous amount yet. We are excited for them to do more landscaping, to clear it out a bit. Stations, I'll be keen to join the sighting of the lions. I'm maybe 5 minutes out. Oh no. Greenwood hoopoes that were pretty cool. They were on this dead knobthorn, but they left very quickly. I don't know if you heard them. I can't do it. I can't do their call at all.
You can hear it in the mic.
You can hear it.
I don't know,
Wonderful. Andrew says you can hear it. Andrew, you made a good call. You put us closer to the lions. I was searching for the wild dogs, and I'm still like on alert. I have to try and get up and get out here in the morning to see if we can win with finding them before the day starts. Very exciting. They have had a kill, and so they're pretty sated. But the kill is in the area, so they might return and have a nibble. I think it's mostly finished, but good to know that they've been doing really well. They've been hunting beautifully. Normally in a big open system, this is the time of the year where lions struggle the most, because prey abundance is not as concentrated around specific water points like it would be in the drier months. But we have not noticed our lions struggling to catch anything, or that their condition has dipped a little bit like sometimes it does. It's just natural. It wouldn't be cause for concern if it had, given the time of the year, but that is not the case here. They're looking pretty fabulous, for want of a better term. Pardon? Your road. What? Oh, this is where Andrew had the dogs and the leopard on Wednesday. Oh, jackal. Oh, we have a beautiful black-backed jackal, and this is the area, in fact, where they've had the pups. This could be one of the young ones. It's got beautiful dark coloration, no messes, no ear margin deterioration. Didn't stick around for us, but so nice. Yes, Andrew, you were saying this is where you...
We also like to respond to Leopard Dam.
Oh, really?
2 minutes off.
Okay.
Army 2 station there, I left the log.
Okay, copy, thanks.
Jackal, yeah.
Copy, thanks.
It's just behind this. Oh, there you go. Good job, Andrew. Beautiful. See what I'm talking about perfect ear margins, perfect coloration. Sometimes older they get, they look a little washed out. This one's obviously not washed out. It's a stunning jackal. But it does have quite a big, thick neck. And it is pretty much, oh, flop. That was very much like a domestic dog. The little circle it walked before it flopped down. See if we can get a little closer. No, let's not. So nocturnal animal, I mean, this jackal's just about to start its period of alert awakeness. It would have rested for much of the day. Of course, it would have moved if there was any disturbance or any concern, like the fact that the lions are not too far from here. But now it's going to get active, and maybe if it's feeling daring and bold, it could try and steal some scraps from the lion's kill. But the way the lions have been treating hyenas, I would hope that the jackals would keep a very safe distance from them, because they always risk their lives if they want to steal scraps from a carcass that the lions are hanging around. It's very cool. Hello, Wendy. Nice of you to join us. We have a black-backed jackal.
I'm responding to the lion sighting at the quarry. 5 minutes out.
Lots of interest in the lions. This is fantastic. Look how big those ears are as well, to be able to hear. They've got fabulous hearing, great smell, and also they do use vocalizations to stay in contact with one another, so it's very important that they can hear vocalizations of other jackals in order to keep in contact. Of course, it's not just for hearing jackals. Beautiful. Smelling the air to see if there's anything concerning. This is lovely. Okay? Such a nice sighting to have. It's so chilled. Where's the rest of your family? That's what I want to know. It's hot. It's still very warm, even though the sun has set. You can see he's panting.
Yeah, I was just trying to communicate with the station that moves between me and
I think we should carry on, see what those lions are up to. We're going to leave this jackal, although it's been a fantastic sighting. And I'm loving how it's very relaxed with us. I'm going to go slowly. It's probably going to move away, but I'm going to be really slow, just because I don't want it to have a very negative association with the vehicle. And in a perfect world, it would just let me pass by. Maybe it will. This is so cool, hey? Oh, it's gone. It is a young one. It's not fully grown. But it's super chilled. Ah, I love you. You're wonderful. Andrew, the quarry is up here, right? Very interesting car. Yeah, the roof and everything. one thing that I'm enjoying about being on Leadwood is that we have, hello, hi, thank you. We have so many really cool safari vehicles that we can see while we're out, because every homeowner gets to choose how they want their game viewer to look. It's not like lodges where it's uniformed and you see the same kind of game viewer. It's very entertaining because you see so many different game vehicles. These lions should be somewhere here. I think it's the lionesses. One of the males is further back, if that's okay. I'm interested in the females. They entertained us thoroughly the other morning. I hope they're still nice and full. They should be here. It's in this way, right? Oh my goodness. So many flat cats. How do you want it? Cool. Yeah. Oh, there's a male here as well. In the middle. He's part of the pride in the middle there. So I was really hoping that it was going to be all 5 lionesses, because they have been spending quite a lot of time together. But you can see the lion in the middle of the screen is one of the dominant males. The other one is maybe 500, 600 meters north of where we are now, around Leadwood Dam. That only leaves 1 lioness unaccounted for. It's a good show. You can see that the males help themselves to the females' food, that kill that they've had recently, because look at that belly and how much he is huffing and puffing to try and cool down and digest a ridiculous amount of food. He is hot. That lioness lying just above him, she must be completely in the firing line of a very smelly breath. Of course, he's huffing and puffing for a reason. Panting is a typical way that large mammals, particularly carnivores, cool themselves down. It's not quite as effective as the equivalent mechanism in birds. Birds have a gular flutter, which means that the throat region flutters, and it uses a whole lot less energy than breathing into the lungs and up, like, you know, a huge pant that a lion, for instance, will do. But it's a similar mechanism. I can't imagine not being able to sweat in these conditions. Perspiring really helps cool you down. And these lions, they cannot perspire. They do not have the mechanism. So just by contrast to that male that we were looking at, look at how more concave the male's belly is. She's had a good feed, but she's nowhere near as full as the male who we were just looking at. He is uncomfortably full. Hi Brian, nice of you to join us. She's also not breathing nearly as fast as the male was breathing. By comparison, she's breathing pretty slowly. It's because she doesn't have that unnecessary pressure on her organs from eating, gorging herself. She's had a decent meal, but she hasn't had that much. You can see his respiratory rate is just so much higher. Can I put the light on him? It's
I think he's fine.
the vehicle behind us has concerns about the mouth of the male lion, but I'm not sure. From this angle it looks okay. Perhaps if I saw him from a different angle, maybe I would see what they were referring to.
No, you know what? It could be. Kevin just posted a thing saying he's missing some teeth and they're getting old. I'm not good.
Maybe they are starting to get old, these male lions. So the male lions get an incredibly bad reputation for stealing food from lionesses, and they do commandeer carcasses. But I think what's misunderstood is how necessary that is for them to do. In a typical open system, and even in this environment, it's really important that the male lions are very strong enough to see off any opposition that they may face. And the best way for them to get really strong is for them to eat a lot. And so we give them a hard time for eating the females' food, but the females understand it, and they back away because, one, the males are a lot bigger than them and it is a bit of a bullying situation, but two, because they know that it is in their best interests that the dominant males are at their peak. They can only be at their peak if they're eating regularly, and to patrol a territory the size of the Rietspruit Game Reserve, that's more than 6,000 hectares, they have to be in peak condition to be able to touch every corner and to spray and to make sure that they are securing this area so that intruders don't get in. Now we know that it's fenced, but they conduct their lives not knowing that they have no threat of intruding coalitions. And we've seen that when they've come into contact with the other males on the fence line. There's a lot of posturing, a lot of roaring, a lot of scent marking, a lot of very territorial behavior. And we also see it when there's a roaring back and forth between males who are further away. Obviously, Rietspruit is in an area where we're just Rietsprut's just a little town in the middle of a lot of wild space. So there's a lot of lion audio that they are hearing, and that's making them exhibit all the necessary dominant behaviors. And so, there it goes, rolls over. Maybe it's going to lie, nope, roof, flop. Part of the dominant behaviors that we need to see are them eating the kills and protecting their territory. If this were an open system and the threat of other male lions were very real, that would mean that the cubs of the pride would be killed or under threat of being killed by intruding males. So females really don't mind expending energy on a kill only to lose it to the dominant males, knowing full well that the dominant males are going to protect their offspring, and it takes far more energy to conceive, birth, nurture, and raise offspring than it does to make another kill. Breed with new males and make another kill. Pretty uninspiring, hey? They're not doing too much. I think what we should do is let them be. We have about 20 minutes, a little bit more than that. I want to try and find a leopard, put us in the best position, because we've got a streak going. I don't have that much faith in myself, but I got to give myself a chance. yes, Sue, all cats don't sweat. That was a confusing sentence, but cats, dogs, any of the furry animals that we see, they actually don't have the capacity to sweat. So their only heat regulation panel is their tongue and the inside of their mouth. And that is why they pull air over it quickly, to try and cool down the skin in that area and the blood in that area, and then it circulates throughout the body and cools down their core body temperature. But it's not a very efficient system. So they're not just being lazy when it's hot, they're actually trying very hard to keep their body temperature at a functionable level. It's one of the reasons why humans have survived so long and done so well as a species, is because particularly when we were hunter-gatherer type people and had to do a lot of running. Alrighty. Nice to see them. I wonder where the 5th lioness is. Thank you. You want me to stop? Yep. Alrighty, lions. Nice to see you. Oh well, we'll catch up with you soon. Catch up with you very soon. But we are on a leopard search now. It's getting serious. Put your leopard glasses on, everybody. I think I'm going to slowly go down Leadwood Drive, and then I'm going to head west on Twin Crossings and come down the SAST route in the hopes that we get lucky. I will be I might cry. I might cry. Andrew's confessing that he cries when he sees leopards. He said it's not a new confession, you already know that. No, I don't think I'll cry. I think I'll hold it together. Really just looking for an eye shine, anything to reflect back. Hello Matty, nice to see you. We're having a great drive. We've seen rhinos and blackback jackals and lions, and now we are on a search for some leopards. Stopped in the road. Pardon? Hello, hello, hello.
You just come too late before changing. Hey, Andrew, you clever. Came too late. Change a tire.
Ah, I thought you said you'd seen the dogs. We were on the lookout.
Okay, where they still lying flat?
The lions, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is that all?
There's 4 females.
4 females, 1 male.
Where the 5th one is.
Yeah, I don't know where she is.
Thank you for stopping.
We will see you tomorrow. Great. We'll
I'm
be.
not sure if I'll be there for that long because I've got to run
Revolution board meeting. I got a meeting in town before that, and then I've got another call, so I'm only available after 1:30, but we'll see.
It might be, but yes.
But, you know, you
Try
guys
and see
can
the
handle
find
it
the
or something,
female.
But we've
Yeah.
also got to try and do this lioness
Yeah.
as well, because I found out that
Yeah.
she wasn't done the right way the last time.
Yeah. Lots to do.
Sometime this week.
Lots to do, lots to do. Very exciting then. We'll see you. Little chat with Kevin Leo Smith. Nope, I have not seen my first leopard yet, Matthew. We are working on it, alright? We're working very hard on it. Yeah, so Kevin was just updating us. There was one of the younger lionesses whose sterilization was actually unsuccessful. And so she's starting to show signs of estrus. And we need to make sure, given that this is a closed system and the dominant males are her fathers, well, one of them might be her father. There were 3 dominant males, now there's only 2, one of them passed away, well, we assume one of them passed away. He vanished and he hasn't been seen, so it's safe to assume he's no longer around. But we just don't want to risk her breeding with her related males, father or uncles or whatever they are. So we need to contracept her. I know, I'm not sure if that's news to all of you, if you already knew all of that, but we do need to make sure that we get that done before she is in a precarious position. So it's going to be an interesting week for us. Sibling love hurts. You funny, Mary. Matthew's just being cheeky because he's been on the Rietspruit for like, I don't know, a week. And in the 1 week he was here, he had a leopard sighting, which, you know, is so ridiculous, really. I've been here 5 months, and the best I get term. Yeah. Okay, my TeamSpeak has frozen, so we're back. We're back. Nice to hear you. Gareth, my TeamSpeak is frozen, so speak to me through Andrew. Nice to have all of you back. I got cut off saying, I'll see a leopard. I know it swings around, it always swings around. Maybe tonight. I believe in the process. Sorry, there's a little dyker sleeping right beside the road. And I may have blinded. Yes. At least your brothers are younger than you, Mary. If they were older than you, you would have been picked on even more. Well, you might have been picked on. But because they're younger than you, you can be the boss. This whole reserve has been alight with leopard sightings, so I really am hoping that if we drive Twin Crossings, which is quite a good area for leopards, and then into that area, Seskant, alongside between the 2 rivers, the Diepsloot and the Sunsloot, maybe we'll pick up on some signs of a leopard and maybe even see one. If not, well, we tried. maybe we'll get something else that's really cool, like a porcupine. Actually, there's a porcupine den around here. I must just keep an eye out. I saw it with Jake's on a private safari, and there were like 2 or 3 porcupines sleeping outside the burrow. Started active. So it's in the base of a termite mound somewhere here. Might be a little further down the road, but I just reminded how cool would that be if we could get some porcupines. Lots of impala here. I don't want to shine on them. Oh, there's a small one. There is a car. Oh, a residential car. If they want to go past, they're welcome to. Come on, little one. Lots of impalas here. I'm not shining on them for a reason. Let's let this car go past. Hi there. Hi, nice to see you. Yeah. No, us too. Enjoy. Whoa, ouch. I was like, why is it getting so hot on my lap? Because I didn't switch this thing off properly. I've done that before on my very first assessment drive. Actually, my very last assessment drive before I got the job that I wanted. Okay, so somewhere around here is where I want to just keep an eye out. Porcupine would be a super cool thing to put on camera, wouldn't it? Somewhere. You have to get your timing perfect. Too late and it would have gone out to forage for the evening, and too early and of course it won't be up and awake. This is a good time.
So if you're leading the male and one female at Leopard Dam, just had a drink, and there's on block one other station in town.
Okay, one of the females is at
Wendy, is there any sign of any mating interest there?
Yeah,
Leopard
he's very
Dam.
interested. He hasn't been able to yet. Been having a drink and snarled at him, but yeah, he's very interested.
Oh, it sounds like the males are showing interest in one of the females. It will just have to see if it's the old female, which would make sense because we're happy for her to have cubs. But the younger one would be a problem.
I don't know who it is, but maybe they can tell you.
The older female has got no notches in her ears. The other youngsters have all got a notch in it.
I wonder which one of the young females is
Well, I saw the older female at the quarry.
not
lying
sterilized. Which one of her, which, you know, in terms of notches, who it is. Or at least contracepted. It's going to be a whole different thing to see what happens in our line dynamics in the next couple of months. I think it's going to be a lot of fun because Neleti is likely to conceive if she hasn't already, and of course we're going to have to contracept this younger female whose contraception was unsuccessful the first time around. No porcupines today. You could find a different one, but you smell the dogs. You didn't smell anything. I got a real strong waft of what I thought was wild dog. Possible in this area. Very possible. porcupine, yes please. I agree. You also think it would be amazing, Andrea?
The male is definitely in the and female in the west. As far as I can tell, there are no notches in the air.
Okay.
So I made a picture and the site sent that later.
Sounds like it's
I copied which direction are they going?
near Leti with the male.
Stationary here at Leopard.
We'll have to see. I'm just listening, picking up from the radio. I didn't actually know that there was a fifth lioness. She was with that male, otherwise I would have gone and checked that out too. So much to see. Leopard is teeming. We didn't see the cheetah or the wild dogs, but we know they're in this area. And with that leopard as well, I'm just excited. Leopard is pumping.
Warren, yeah.
And a week ago when Basil and I went out one morning, Kaya was pumping. So you know what? Lowbung's gonna pump soon. They're just doing a little rotation. Jennifer, where is Andrew's jackal? Andrew, did you have a special jackal? No? Okay. We did see a jackal earlier in live. I don't know if you were on yet, but we had an amazing jackal sighting just before dark. It was dusky. So we did have a jackal, a leadwood jackal, which could very well have been the jackal that Andrew... Did you have a jackal on drive? You did. You did have a jackal to end off on Wednesday. Well, oh, we're back. So, yeah, have a look. If you look back, about an hour ago, we saw Andrew's jackal. We're going to call it that. Andrew's jackal. Andrew's like, yes, let's call it that. Nodding. In agreement. You say that's the one. Okay, good. One day we're going to have a Victoria's leopard. Oh, there was an owl that took off in this. Maybe it'll be Victoria's hyenas. Yeah? Okay, hold tight, everybody. What is that? Can you hear that? Maybe there was an owl that flew through here, so it's obviously upset something. Being bitten by mozzies. Mosquitoes are alive. Is that the owl? It might be the owl making that noise. Is it a young one? Yeah, it is a young one. It is the owl. I thought it could be. There's also a response from a little further back. Nice, spotted eagle owl. Oh my goodness, we can't sit here much longer, Andrew. Sorry folks, we are inundated with mosquitoes and the likes. Andrew has about 60 on his legs right now. So we had to leave the owl abruptly. Come on, leopard, last minute. What's that? There's something, it's a genet, damn. See it drinking there? Cute, oh my goodness. That's nice. The genet looks like it's drinking from a puddle. That's really great. Might also be eating insects. Catching what it can. You can see why those eyes caught my attention. They're very reflective. Hello, you. Some people call them baby leopards, so we can pretend. And it's gone. It's moved away into the thick stuff. There's no more view. We'll trundle along just a tiny bit, see what we can find. Thank you, and thank you to all of you. I was going to read your comment. Thank you to all of you, Mary and Betty and everybody. It's been a fun Sunday afternoon. A sweaty Sunday. If you're a human. Not if you're a lion. So just as a reminder to everybody, we will not be going anywhere too far. We're still going to be around, we're still going to engage with you. It's just going to look a bit different, but I think you're going to enjoy it as well. And so our next point of engagement is going to be next week, Monday, not this week, where you'll have a chat with one of the pack members. one of the team. And we'll set that up, and keep your eyes tuned on our socials so that we can let you know all the details around that. And then our next live drive will be the first Sunday in March, and we are so looking forward to it already. Not sure who's going to be your guide, but we are very much looking forward to it. So from us here at Painted Dog TV, thank you so much for enjoying this portion of our journey with us. We're sure you're going to enjoy the next portion with us too. But have a wonderful evening, and in this capacity we will see you next month, first Sunday. Bye.